When we're young, we have an amazing, positive outlook about how great life is going to be, but somewhere along the line, we forget to dream and end up settling. Join Up Dots features amazing people who refuse to give up and chose to go after their dreams. This is your blueprint for greatness. So here's your host, live from the back of his garden in the UK, David Ralph.
Yeah, hello there, and welcome to another edition of Join Up Dots. How are we all? How are we all across the world? In every single corner, in every village, in every tenement. I hope you're listening to Join Up Dots. I do, because that is how this thing will grow. This thing will grow. And I tell you what, enough growing as well. It's one of these wonderful things. I might talk about it today, or should I talk about next Friday? I might talk about it next Friday. Yep, because today I've got something on my brain that I have to get away with. And this is a bit of a confessional. I didn't realise that I was going to be actually having to actually share this with you, but I think I need to confess. I'm addicted. Well, not really addicted, sort of slightly addicted. And why I say slightly addicted, I didn't think I was addicted at all. But I realised recently that I'm addicted to the internet. And I don't know if any of you lot would say, yeah, I'm addicted to the internet as well. Or just go with, that's life. That's life. That's what all the people say. A little bit of Frank Sinatra there for you. I've just come back from St. Lucia. I had to go to the Caribbean. I had to, he says. Oh, what a drag, what a drag. Going to the Caribbean and walking around in the sunshine on the beach with palm trees. Palm trees everywhere in St. Lucia. And I had to go there for my daughter's wedding. My daughter Alicia got married to Greg on a beach in St. Lucia. And it was very, very nice. And before I went, I said to my wife, I'm not going to take any connectivity. I'm not going to take a tablet, an iPhone or anything. Well, I don't have an iPhone, but a tablet. I used to have a tablet until I got robbed. I got robbed once in Gran Canaria in Spain. And I'm a bit selective about what I drag around with me anymore. But running a thing like Join Up Dots, there's a lot of sort of checking. You have to sort of check that the show's gone live every day. You got to check sort of emails, and I'm pretty good at that. I'm pretty good at allowing things to sort of hang around for a little bit. For example, if you send an email to me, I do say that I will respond within 2 weeks, and more often than not I try to respond quicker, because I try to bash them out and keep up with the flow, the never-ending flow of people dropping me a line. And I do try to respond to every single email that comes through. I really, really do. And as I always say, if you've sent one through to me and you haven't had a response, I do apologise. It's just there's hundreds coming through every single day, but I do try my best on that. Anyway, I set out my standards on certain things, so I feel like I'm not checking it every day. But I went to St. Lucia and I said to the wife, I'm not going to take anything with me. And she said, how are you going to do that? All the last holidays you've been whizzing off and trying to find Wi-Fi just to check, just to do things, just to make sure that everything's going okay. I said, I'm just going to go cold turkey, and I am going to be walking around in a zen-like state. And so that's what I did. And I didn't realise until I got out there that I was actually sort of slightly addicted to checking things and making sure that things has gone all right. Now, as it happened, I came back and my show had grown exponentially when I was away with audience listenership, and nothing did go wrong. But there was still that sort of, I need to check. And when I realised that I was actually addicted was in that bit before you wake up in the morning. I just coming out of sleep, and I started to feel like I was, better get going, better check. And I feel like my stomach was sort of churning. Once I got into the day, I was kind of all right, but it did flash into my mind a lot. Wonder if no one's had an episode of Join Up Dots for 4 days. Now, in the great scheme of things, I know you guys hang on every word I produce, but is it going to kill you if Join Up Dots doesn't go live for a few days? If there's some issue, is it going to kill you that you don't know what's coming through your tweet box and your face box and all the boxes in the world where we get communication? Is it going to matter really that somebody doesn't get an instant response to you, or you don't know? So I thought to myself, no, it doesn't. It doesn't make any difference at all. So why have I got that urge to check? Now, one of the things I've realised is, because I've now looked into it, is that there is this thing called internet addiction. And I think every single one of us has got it. And to sort of break it, well, first of all, you've got to accept that you've got it. You've got to accept that you're walking along the street looking at your phone. You're sitting on the train looking at your phone. You're coming home and you're instantly checking your Facebook, or you're watching TV in the evening. This is what my wife does. She watches TV, but she has her laptop by the side of her just so when it beeps, she can look instantly. And one of the reasons why people do that, it makes you kind of feel good. Oh, somebody wants to say something to me. Oh, what they saying? Oh, it's going to be a lovely thing when somebody's going to tell me I've won £50 million. And it never is. It never is. It's either some moany old so-and-so or just kind of rubbish stuff. It's very rare that you get anything sort of brilliant. But she sits there with it beeping away. And I said, can you turn that off? Can you turn that off? And she says, no, what if somebody needs to get hold of me? I said, I'd like to get hold of you. I'd like to get hold of you tonight, missus. So turn off the TV and come to my flesh cave. But no, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen very often because she's on the bloody internet all the time. So I realised that I started becoming slightly addicted to it, and it took me a good sort of 5 or 6 days to actually think, okay, what's going to happen can happen. So since I've come back, I've been looking at this because it sort of intrigues me. Why are so many people addicted to the internet? And one of the reasons is that feeling of non-connection or comparison. So you feel like other people have got a better life and you're almost kind of wanting to torture yourself. Now, you'll say to me, no, I don't do that. But I bet you do, because I do it. I look on Facebook every now and again and I scroll up and down and I think to myself, oh yeah, they're doing that. Oh, they're doing this. And you kind of beat yourself up about it. And you've got to be honest. You've got to be honest, people. You've got to be honest that we kind of like to look at other people and go, oh, they've got a new car. And oh, it looks like they're going on holiday again. Oh, look at them. Because we want our lives to be the same. But they're not showing us what their lives are really like. They're just showing us the bits that we want to see. So these are the signs. These are the warning signs of internet addiction. And I've got these online because I'm an online addict. So I went online to find this kind of information. Now, tick these off if you think you've got this. Okay, so what are the warning signs of internet addiction? Preoccupation with the internet. Now that's obvious, but thoughts about previous online activity or anticipation of the next online session. Do you sort of put things online and then think about what you wrote and think about, is it going to get a big response? Is it not going to get a big response? Or maybe I'll change it next time. Are you kind of thinking about how you can put your posts on, put your Instagram messages on to get a bigger response? Now, I used to do that. And then I've realised it makes no bleeding difference. It really doesn't. You just do your thing that brings the biggest results and do it as well as you possibly can. And that is, for me, recording podcasts. Nobody really cares if I'm putting an Instagram post on, because what's it got to do with a podcast? And I made that mistake. I made that mistake for probably 2.5 years, blasting stuff out everywhere. And now I literally just focus in on iTunes and Stitcher Radio, because that is where people go to get their podcasts, get their fix of Join Up Dots. So do you find that the use of the internet is increasing in amounts of time? You're just spending more and more time on it. Do you sort of wake up in the morning and check your phone and then check it during the day? I think most people do. And are you trying to, and this is the key thing, do you sometimes go, right, okay, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it for a while, and get a bit moody and a bit sort of grumpy and a bit snappy with people because you're feeling restless. You've got moodiness and depression because you just want to be on there. You want to be on there. So all of these things is something for you to look at, because I realised I had the same thing and I felt twitchy and I just felt kind of out of the loop somewhat. But I don't want to be in that loop anyway. I really don't. I just want to be doing what I do. So after the first week, I started to sort of ease into it. And I really thought, yeah, this is the life for me. So once I've come back, I've made absolute fixed effort to cut back on everything. And as I say, I wasn't bad anyway, really, because I don't have a mobile phone, so I can't connect when I'm out and about. But there was a lot. I just whiz up to the office where I record Join Up Dots. I just check it. I'll only be a couple of minutes. I just do things. So now I'm trying to do it, but I'm only coming up to the office on recording days and preparation days and admin days. So 3 days out of the 7 I will come up here, and recording days I've got to be here because you record podcasts. And then on the preparation day is when I do all the research and the pre-diligence on the guests that come to the show. And then the admin days are the ones when I do sort of emails and I sort of check things like that. And I've managed to get that less and less and less. But here is the whammy. It's all right saying, yes, I'm addicted to the internet. What can I do? Well, you can reduce it, but then what do you fill your time up with? And that's the problem. You're so ingrained with doing what you do all the time. When it comes to actually freeing yourself up, you haven't got any idea what to do. So I've freed up all this time in Join Up Dots land, and I'm saying to the wife, I don't know what to do with myself today. And she says, oh, why don't you just go back and work? You know that's what you want to do. And I said, no, I'm holding firm on this. I am holding firm, young hobbit. And she's only small, my wife, a bit like a hobbit. And what do I do? What do I fill up my time with? And I've weeded the garden, and I've painted fences, and I've done all the sort of boring stuff that people do. My life is not like, you see it online where people go, oh yes, I'm flying to here, I'm flying to there. I do a lot of that, but it's a boring life, and I'll be open with that. It's a boring life. It's just a normal life. I've got kids, I've got a wife, I've got grandsons, granddaughters now, and it is just a normal life. I never want anyone in the world to go, oh, Join Up Dots is glamorous, Join Up Dots is all this. It's just a normal guy doing a normal job. Sort of extraordinary, really, because not a lot of people do this, at least that I know. But just living life, paying the bills, getting the money in. My difference is I do something that I love, and I have created a life where I can control my time, and I have a lot of free time. So that's basically sort of extraordinary, I suppose, compared to everything else. But never think that I'm one of these sort of uber glamorous online celebrities that you see, because they don't exist. They don't exist. They're just letting you see that, and it doesn't matter. It's not out there, really. They still sit on the toilet, and they still have their cups of tea in the morning, and they still have to go to the shops to get the groceries. They still have to do all that kind of stuff. The online celebrity doesn't exist. Want to be open with you on that. I want to be totally open. I still have to do all that kind of stuff. But what I don't need to do is spend all my time on the internet. So, as I say, I just wanted to confess to you on that I realise that I've got a problem, and it's only a tiny problem, but I'm going to work my utmost to resolve it, because what I want in my life is the ability to savour every moment that I'm living, and not thinking about the beeps and the squawks and all the things that the online notifications that come through to me. What's the point in that? That's not fun. That's not enjoyable. When you create a dream life for yourself, it's not to be dealing with emails. Nobody says that. It's about being with your kids, being with your family, but really being with them, really being present, really being focused, and not having any mental distractions going on. So I'm going to keep this as a theme on the show. Not going to do it all the time because it'd be boring, but I'm going to really sort of share it with you, how I'm getting on in creating Join Up Dots to become bigger and bigger and bigger, but doing it in a way that allows me more and more free time. So I paint myself towards the door, and I can step out, because I think it's going to be hugely valuable for anybody out there who starts creating a business based on the information that we provide, that you realise that you can have your cake and eat it. You can earn lots of money, have your time, have your schedule organised by yourself, and love every second of the day. You don't actually have to leap from the corporate pool into the entrepreneurial pool and then don't see anyone and just sit behind your computer all the time because you're bashing away at it all. That's not what life is all about. It's about being spontaneous. It's about having pub lunches when you want, playing with the kids, and really being present. So help me out, people. If you do receive an email response from me within seconds of you sending it, then send one back to me and say, David, you're a charlatan and a fraudster. You said that you was going to hold firm for these rules, and we will work on it together. But believe me, by just switching off, even for just a weekend, start to notice how you feel. And if you're feeling twitchy and thinking you're just going to log on because you feel like you're missing out on it, then I'm sure that you've got the same problem that I have. And so I'm definitely, every weekend now, I'm not coming near my computer. I'm going to totally switch off. I'm going to try to do it more and more during the week, because the better ideas come into your head because you're allowing yourself that freedom to flourish and have your mind just thinking about things that aren't about restrictions and obstacles, but it's about the future. And that's how life works. You allow yourself to recharge, you come up with better ideas bring more income into your life. More income into your life brings better holidays and vacations and whatever you want to do, which should allow for yourself to have even more energy into your body, and life gets better and better and better. So hold firm from your addictions. And if you're thinking that you've got to really sort of be online all the time because you're missing out, just be aware of those feelings in your body, because I think that is a key point to getting happiness in your life, making sure that it's your life that you're living and not sort of amongst everybody else that's blasting it out there big time. I've got that off the chest now. I feel a bit better. And so what I'm going to do today, it's Thursday today, and I'm going to be recording all my episodes of the shows today, and then I'm going to switch off and live a life and take my kid to the football, go to the movies, and just enjoy life, because that is what it's there for. Look after yourself, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to this confessional episode of Join Up Dots, and speak to you again soon. Cheers. See ya.
David doesn't want you to become a faded version of the brilliant self you were once to become. So he's put together an amazing guide for you called the 8 Pieces of Advice that every successful entrepreneur practices, including the 2 that changed his life. Head over to joinupdots.com to download this amazing guide for free, and we'll see you tomorrow on Join Up Dots.